How are you?
Doing well.
Good, good, good. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it.
You ready, Sailor?
Yep, go for it. Coach, how does it feel just to get that first win under your belt?
Woo! It feels very good to get that first win. It's been over 10 years since I've been a head coach on the sidelines, and just to get that first win here at UCF. UCF is a special place, and to be the leader of this program is amazing, and I don't take that lightly. So very excited about it, but we know we got a short turnaround. We have Mercer coming in on the 10th. So we're going to enjoy this 24 hours and get, well, actually till 6 a.m., whatever that is from now. I'll get up and I'll watch film. And but I'm super excited to be a part of this team and leading this team. And our young ladies were excited. As you can see, we played with energy. We played collectively. Over the last 2 weeks, it's really been a trying week for us. We had two players that tore their ACL, unfortunately. Two players that were pretty much going to be starters for us. One tore it in practice and the other in our exhibition game. And so, you know, we had to readjust. And the thing that I'm talking to our players about is all hands on deck and that 1%. You got to give 1% better each day for us to win the games that we expect to win. And I feel like they're working towards it.
You know, one of your starters has one of those hands that you mentioned coming on deck, has something in common with you. Her first game at UCF, Brianna Hardy, had a big night tonight. I think she was a leading scorer with 14. What does that say about her performance and how she's developed in the preseason here?
Well, I think Bree has a amazing future here at UCF. Bree is one of those people, she don't know how well she's going to play. Like she don't realize that she's a freshman with a great upside. I was so excited about her. We had Taylor Gibson, who was out this week pretty much with a concussion. And so Bree has stepped in and just really taken over in the post and helping Destiny down low. But I was excited for her. She deserves that. She's worked hard, and I can't wait to see, you know, her future here.
It's funny you mentioned quiet but talented. You mentioned Destiny Thomas. I have to ask, she got the double-double tonight. That's what we've been looking to see based on what we heard at Media Day, right?
I call her Old Faithful, okay? Double-double. Destiny is one we talked about with the 1%, okay? So Destiny in the past has not been an offensive threat for our program. But she was a great rebounder, and we expect more from her. She's got to give us some offensive and just be solid on the boards. And I feel like she's bought into that right now. And if I could keep her in that mind space, I think we have a great shot of surprising some people.
Big changes in the offseason. You come in as a new head coach. There's a lot of turnover on the roster, but to get started on the right foot really gives you a positive momentum going forward.
It really does. For us to get started on the right foot is a great positive momentum with Mercer coming in. Okay, Mercer is coached by Susie Gardner. To me, is one of the better coaches in women's basketball. They're very well coached. They always make postseason play. And they're going to play man-to-man defense and mix it up a little bit. And so we just got to have that momentum going from here. Having 4 players in double-digit scoring tonight is great momentum. And hopefully we can have each person step up each night and just do what they can to help us lead to victory.
What have you learned about you and your staff and then your team tonight? You mentioned you've had some adversity already with some injuries, so you've had to adapt already probably than you planned on. So what did you learn about the team tonight and about your staff and you tonight?
Okay, as far as me, what I've learned is I grew up the youngest of 8 from a small town in Waldo, Arkansas, right? And obstacle and adversity is part of my life, okay? So I make sure my players understand that listen, when life just throws you lemon, you gotta make lemonade. So we go from, in the beginning, having 5 players that returned from the previous year. 4 of them didn't average 10 minutes in playing. Then we start the season and 2 ACL tears. So adversity It's just a minimal, is what I tell our players. You expect it and you roll with the punches, and we don't use any excuses. We're going to come out and play hard regardless. But that really has been adversity, and I thank God for my toughness. I grew up, like I said, in places and situations where adversity happens. And so I want my young ladies to understand that's going to happen in life, and we have to, roll with the punches. Thank you. It's a great question.
So you mentioned adversity, a little something extra too, that Mother Nature might be getting involved, sending a tropical storm in the general direction. Does that do anything to change your approach or how you might prepare?
No, it doesn't. We're going to go ahead and prepare as if we're playing. And if anything happens differently, we will adjust accordingly. But right now we plan on just being out there on the tent and see what happens from there. So preparation will be the same.
What's something on the stat line you'd like to see be a little bit better for your squad tonight?
Turnovers. 26 turnovers is the first thing I look at, and I'm going, gosh, okay. And that was against the zone. They played zone, and so we got to do better. And that goes back to the injuries. One of the people injured was Morgan, who was going to be our point guard. And so, we're letting other people try to get in that position and try it out. But the main thing is turnovers. That's the thing I look at. I also look at free throws. We got to do better at free throws. Last game, we were 10 for 29. This game, 7 for 12. I just want us to get our free throw percentage up better. To me, that's two things we can control. You can shoot free throws and you can lessen your turnovers. So those are two things that I definitely will address our next practice.
On a more positive note, which one of the stat lines stand out to you that you guys really did well in?
You know what? I think 72 points against the zone. We, with the 3-point line, we love the three. Lord, 30 attempts. But and I really do think having 72 points and with a team that had to play and yet got our chemistry down to be able to attack a zone that way was a positive note to me.
You mentioned things that you can control too, from the guard spot. Rachel may have only had 6 points, but she was in there crashing the boards too. Forward at the glass, this is part of that positionless again. We're back on that again.
Yes.
How much does that show that off?
Well, hey, that's what we're talking about. Positionless basketball is part of our adversity that to me, that it overcomes adversity, right? Having positionless basketball. So Rachel hit our first 2 threes in the game. She got us going. You're right. And there were times where we post her up. And so that's the thing about it, is we're going to have to do this thing by committee all season. And we know that. And it's going to be ups and downs, but we just got to keep rolling up our sleeves and going for it. But that's part of that positionless basketball.
Thanks.
Hey guys, thank you for coming.